Princess Rissa here. When we last left off, we had just entered the northern mountain. And we were going to go hunt down Bahamut, the king of the dragons. When we released his seal, when we got the first tablet, he said that if we were brave enough to come up here and test our might against his. Now, there's no real point for our party to go here, because Bahamut is basically the master summon, you know, the top summon. We already got the top black magic, the top white magic, and the top time magic now, so I guess it makes sense that there has to be a top summon. Well, that's Bahamut, but we don't have a summoner in our party, so we can't really use the summon. But I'm doing, like I said, 100% here. So I'll be getting, like, all the summons, the same reason I got all the songs, even though I can't use any of them. So, it's just good. Bahamut is where the top, where we found Lena's Windrake so long ago. It was recovering, so luckily we got this save point, which is not that far from the entrance to where we're going to actually be ending up fighting Bahamut. It's good to see the rope bridge, or Faris's rope bridge, is still there. And when going into this battle, one thing that you want to do, no matter what your party is comprised of, is, and I did it off screen there, that was that little thing there, was you want to have the core rings that we bought in the Phantom Village. You want to have them equipped on everybody. They will help nullify several of Bahamut's attacks. Definitely increase our survivability against him. So there's Bahamut, his shadow looms over us. You have broken the seal. If you can best me in battle, I shall award you my power. Alrighty, well, it's time to fight Mr. Bahamut. Here he comes. Mr. Bahamut, stats are coming up here. He is level 99, so level 3 flare is useful against him. If you have that, if you do have a summoner, you can use the Carbuncle spell to cast Reflect on all of your characters. That will, in case Bahamut uses the Mega Flare, sort of how he did in Final Fantasy IV. We haven't played that game yet, but that's how you beat Bahamut in Final Fantasy IV. You put Reflect on yourself, he casts this Dragon Flare on you, it bounces back on him and takes him out. We don't have to do that here. We can just take him out with normal black magic spells. And this will also be another good area where we can work with some, show off some of our new time magic. I've been just having Lena drink some potions. These drank the thing to double her hit points, and that, just in case we do get hit by that Mega Flare, she'll be able to, you know, maybe res the rest of the party up, so. We've hasted ourselves up, as standard. When we get down to, you know, low hit points, feel free to use, you know, have everybody be their basic healer. So, I just saw earlier, he shot that atomic ray at us, and that was nullified by the core ring. So, use that. That helps, you know, obviously prevent that from doing any damage to us. So, you can put our flame rings on, and they can help mitigate. They can actually make you gain hit points when he hits you with that spell, because you absorb fire. But there's some other spells that the core ring will better defend against. So core rings are kind of the way to go there, because if you had them on, that frost would deal a bunch of extra damage to you, because it makes you weak against the ice. So here I'm showing off the quick spell that we also got in the Phantom Village. Quick is pretty broken. What Quick basically does is you cast Quick, and then you get 2 turns afterwards. So Faris casted Quick, now she can use one spell to cast Flare, and then her turn pops right back up again, and we can show off, let's show off the ultimate time spell, Meteor. Look at how much better damage it does than the Comet. Much better damage than the Comet, so a good way we can kind of take care of this guy is, the only problem with the Quick spell is, it costs a lot of MP. Even with the gold hairpin equipped, it's going to cost you close to 40 MP to cast, so yeah, it's not really useful except for against like bosses. There's some ways that you can really cheese bosses with it. But another good use for quick, other than getting a whole bunch of damage real quick, is it can basically be like a double healer. So we can have, like, say somebody cast quick, and then they can heal 2 people in a round. You know, throw two high potions, one on themselves, one on another. So we can have Lena do that here. She can cast quick, and now she can throw two potions, and because she has that innate ability to double the effects of potions, really, really good for someone like her. And we can try to slow him up. The battle's kind of almost won, though, but I was just thinking, because when he gets low on hit points, he's more apt to start using the Mega Flare. So that's why I just tried to slow him there real quick in the hopes that, you know, since he acted not recently, that I could slow him down and potentially deal enough damage to finish him off before his turn came back up again and hit us with the Mega Flare. But we didn't have to worry about that because good old Ferris dropped a whole bunch of meteors on his head. I also changed my jobs a little bit. I took Lena off of the Beastmaster. I'm going to put her back on the Beastmaster. If she was on the Beastmaster, she would have maxed that job, and she didn't need a whole lot of ability points to max that job, so a lot of those ability points would have been wasted. So as you can see, she only needs 14 more ability points, and we'll pick that up before we go into the next dungeon, the Phoenix Tower, which is on the other corner of this desert. We're going to trek across this desert, hoping to find the final 2 desert enemies that we did not meet in the last video. Trying to fill out our bestiary. And luckily, we get into the first one right here. That little snake in the back of the Ankh-Meg. He's pretty passive in the sense that as long as you're floating, he shouldn't be able to do too much damage to you because most of his attacks are earthquake attacks. And if you're floating off the ground, earthquake won't hit you. He's also weak against ice, as you saw there. 1 ice takes him out, so not really much of a problem. When I did I guess it could be a test run, I guess you could call it. When I played through the game normally, not under the 4-job Fiesta things, there's a space where there's quicksand, and you can just step on the quicksand, and that enemy is one of the ones that pop up most of the time there, that Ankh-Med. And so you just, you can put your controller down, tape down the A button, so you're constantly, you know, just scrolling through the text after a battle. Set all your characters as berserkers, and they'll auto attack or give them the berserker auto attack ability, and float them, and you just float around on the quicksand, going back and forth and getting into battles non-stop, and you won't even have to. You can like go to sleep, and the game will play itself. And that's the way I got to level 99 with my characters, my test run, I guess. And here we have the final new desert enemy here, the Land Rider. He's like the big sandworm from Dune. He's kind of hard, not only because he has a whole bunch of hit points, but, well, like most enemies in this Outworld enemies, he is weak to level 3 flare, so you can hit him for level 3 flare real cheap. The problem with him is he has a spell called Maelstrom, and if that hits your character, it basically puts you down into single-digit hit points. It's like that hurricane spell that those Elmgigas used, but this is a multi-targeting one, so it can hit your entire party, and that's a good time when you use that quick spell to, you know, double your turn, have 2 people cast quick, and you can at least get everybody back on with at least 500 hit points, you know, using the high potion. So that's one way to do it. I'm gonna do it right here. See, I'll just cast quick. Now Krill will have 2 turns in a row, and she can either heal herself up to max with 2, or pretty close to max with 2 high potions, or she can be nice and maybe give another high potion to one of her buddies. But I'm gonna do. Oh, well, in this case, I'll use an elixir instead because Ferris is pretty low on MP. So now, if you kind of know a lot about the Phoenix Tower I'm going to, you might be thinking, why are you using elixirs? You're gonna have to. You need elixirs in that tower. Well, yeah, you do, but you only technically need 5 elixirs. And I'm gonna show you why. Spoilers: there's an enemy that you basically can't defeat in the Phoenix Tower, And the only way to defeat him is to give him an elixir. Every time you give him an elixir, there's a 33% chance that it causes him to run away from battle. And if he runs away from battle, you get 100 ability points. So it's a really good place to build up your job levels. So that's where we'll be making Lena back to a chemist, and she'll pretty much max her chemist job over there, and pretty much max most of our jobs for the most part there. But yeah, so some people, you might need a lot of elixirs. I'm going to show you a way that you can guarantee that even with only just 5 elixirs, you'll be able to defeat every single one of those magic urns that pop up. So, and the key is that wonder rod that we picked up in the Fork Tower in the magical side. So Lena there maxed out her, she finished her Beastmaster class, so we turned her back into the Chemist. That's her final job that she'll have to master. So we're going to have her basically master that here in the thing, and then Whiskers needs to master that job as well, so, but we'll switch off to him, but we're going to focus mainly on getting Lena to max out that job. So this here is the Phoenix Tower. It's kind of a weird dungeon, so I have to go find my map, because it's really important that you kind of have a map in this area, because the tower itself isn't mazy, but remember that guy in the Phantom Village said you have to check the walls. Well, the walls have trap tiles on them, and if you pick the wrong side of the wall, you'll get into a battle, and the battle is usually against kind of an old boss, mainly an old boss, and mainly against an old boss, and so you want to hit the right side. It is a good place though to gain a lot of ability points, not only because of the magic pots, but also because you keep finding these bosses and gaining 5 ability points per boss. So I'm going to find my map here real quick, just off screen, and I got my map here. Now there's no stairs, nothing, but you can either go left or right. And I'm going to go left because that is the right way to go. If you hit the wrong one, you can get into a boss battle with either the old Bandercore, which is a weak monster. Those Kuzo beasts, which are those monsters that are outside the Kuzo castle in the second world. They're kind of those behemoth type enemies. And we can get into the old battle with the old boss monster, the Liquid Flame from the Flame Ship, or the Soul Cannon, which guarded the flying Ronkaroons. So, it doesn't matter which one you get into, they give 5 ability points. So, it's a good way to, I'll be kind of farming them in a little bit, because we don't really want, if a character gets close to a job level, there's no point in having them waste 100 ability points for the magic pots on it. So, you just fight some of those bosses real quick, gain 5 ability points, and use those 100 job ability points for better things. And here we have 2 of the 3 new enemies in this area. The Parthnepoi, this is that snake lady, we just took care of her. And then we have the Sherry, the dancer lady here. There's some really good drops and good steals. Right there you see the Elven Mantle, you can steal that cloak that helps you avoid attacks. That we have 3 of them. You can get your 4th one by stealing from this lady. It's one of her rare steals. You can also get Reflector Rings and Hermes Sandals, which auto-haste you, and the Wall Rings, which cast auto-reflect. So, 2 good accessories there. We got lucky there. And at these pots, one pot will always contain gold in groups of 5,000. So 5,000, 10,000, 1,500, 10,000, 20,000, and 25,000. The other pot will, 4 of the 5 will contain a Phoenix down, and the other one finally has a bow, a special bow. I didn't do that battle there because it was just a magic urn battle. We're going to show it off a little bit later that I'll show you how you can avoid using a whole bunch of elixirs. So get away with just using 1 elixir. So you only ever have to have 5 elixirs to get through this entire tower. Elixirs are really expensive. You can buy them in the Phantom Village, but like I said, they're really, really expensive. So this is a long tower, 30 floors. Every 5 floors is where you're going to meet one of those magic pot battles. So usually the way it works is it seems to be left, left, and then right. Now see, if we touch the wrong one, we get into a boss battle. Like I said, you can either be with the Bando Coil, a Cruiser Beast, a Liquid Flame, or a Soul Cannon. All of them will give you 5 ability points, and most of them are pretty easy. Remember this Liquid Flame? Fought way back in the first world. Now he's pretty much nothing when you have multiple characters with Ice 3. Yeah, take him out in 2 hits, easy living, and we gain 5 ability points. So, what I'm going to do in some cases is, if I notice that I'm really close to maybe gaining a job level, and 100 of those points, like ability points, like for instance right there, if I did 3 battles with the magic pots with Lena, I'd have over like 50 ability points that would just go to waste. So, rather than do that, I can just fight 10 battles with those boss monsters, and then get it to a multiple, my ability point multiple, to where, you know, just 2 boss battles. So I save 50 points, and then I can use them on, say, another character, because Whiskers, he still needs to pretty much max out, well, he still needs to max out his Chemist job. He's only gained 1 level in that, so he still has, you know, 4 more levels in that. Almost 600, a little over 600 AB to get that, so... And here's the last enemy here, the last new enemy in this area, the Lemur. Gives back things to those floating ones we found in the ocean. But we can take them out here. And here on another thing, we can get another magic pot. And here we are, we have the magic pot. Now, you can't really beat this monster because it has 65,255 hit points. And basically what it does is every single time it like talks, it says, you know, give me an elixir. And what happens then, it does that, its little move, it shakes itself off and it heals itself back to full hit points. So unless, see right there, it would have healed itself back up to full hit points. So unless you can do that much damage in, you know, 1 turn, it's not going to be able to defeat it. What you have to do is just basically give it an elixir. And, unfortunately, there's every time you give it an elixir, there's only a 33% chance that it's going to say yay and run away. Otherwise, it's going to keep wanting more elixir. Well, what you can do is, we have that Wonder Rod. You have to use the Wonder Rod because you can't really use magic in these fights. It's like blocked off. If you use the Wonder Rod, it casts the Return spell, and the Return spell returns you to the beginning of the battle with all your items, all your hit points. It's basically as if you just got into the battle. So right there you see I used an elixir. I had 14 elixirs. I used 1 elixir. So now I'm down to 13 elixirs. But I'll just use the Wonder Rod. Doesn't matter, I use it on him or one of my party members. And the battle resets. And now I get to try my luck again with another elixir. And we can just keep, since it wasn't working with Lena there, maybe I'll switch it out and maybe I'll try it with, let's see if Krill has any better chance with it. Nope, she doesn't, so once again, let's reset the battle. So this may seem kind of annoying, but at the same time too, it's guaranteed to prevent you from using, from losing a whole bunch of elixirs. So I'm getting really unlucky here. Like I said, I think I've already done it 3 times. And hasn't run away. So the percentages aren't very nice for me here. So, well, I think this is reset number 4. But eventually, you know, odds will get in our favor, and we'll use our elixir, and the good old magic pot will run away, and we'll save all those elixirs. So... But yeah, he's not really going to do anything else, so you can just do this as long as you want, and eventually, like I said, the odds will come into your favor. I'm just not having really good odds here. I better not play the lotto better not play the lotto numbers right now, because I'm doing really bad. So I think everybody has given it an elixir, so let's switch it out a little bit, and everybody defend for a turn. Let's see if this worked. Yes, we finally worked it, so it took a while, but we were able to finally beat that magic pot without wasting a whole bunch of elixirs. So, alright. Now, Faris there, she's really close to a level, so there's no point in fighting with on a magic pot with her, because she only needs like 24 more ability points to get her level. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to... choose one of these floors and just start picking the wrong door to, get into 5 battles. And when I get into those 5 battles, that will just max out her job level. I can put her on a different job where she'll get more ability points. So, well, those ability points won't go to waste. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to choose some of these wrong doors to max out Ferris's Black Mage there. She needs 4 more to max it out. And in the same time, too, I'll help get Lena's Chemist to a point where only 1 more of those magic pots will help her max out the Chemist level. And we got into an enemy there. Those things turned us into frogs. The Sherry monster turned us into frogs. But hey, we got a whole bunch of Maiden's Kisses. That's why, not only just for mixing, but for doing this. So right now, I'm going to just stick around here on this floor, max out the Black Mage for Ferris, and get a few more ability points for Lena. So I did that, and now I'm getting into a thing. I've got changed some jobs around to get better ability points. So most people have mastered all their jobs. Whiskers still needs the Chemist. He still needs Chemist. And we'll switch jobs around a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, once again, as you saw, Lena is very close to getting a job level. So I'm going to get her max out Chemist, change Whiskers to a Chemist, and then we'll continue out the rest of this tower next time, minions. Halfway there. See you around. Bye!